Warm greetings to all. This presentation will educate you with the glycolysis pathway. Glycolysis is a crucial metabolic pathway among all other carbohydrate metabolism. Let's have an overview of the pathway. ATP is a key energy molecule of all biological organisms. One source of ATP is glycolysis. Glycolysis process takes place in the cytosol of the cells. This is a catabolic process wherein glucose breakdown takes place into a 3-carbon compound, which is pyruvate or lactate. Glycolysis process may be aerobic or anaerobic, that is, it may take place in the presence of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen. The other name for glycolysis is Enden-Meyerhof pathway. Totally 10 ATPs are produced in the glycolysis pathway. We'll be calculating the energetics after seeing the pathway. Glycolysis process can be divided into 3 phases. The first one is energy investment phase or priming phase. The second one is splitting phase, and the third one is energy generation phase. So coming to the overview of the pathway, the first input molecule, that is the glucose, is converted into glucose 6-phosphate, and then glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. So you can see the enzymes which I have shown in violet color. Fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. So during the first 3 steps, energy, that is ATP molecules, are consumed. You can see ATP is converted into ADP in the conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate catalyzed by hexokinase or glucokinase. Similarly, fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6-phosphate. During that period, ATP is again consumed. So during the first 3 steps, energy are consumed. So next, fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, it splits up into 2 3-carbon compound, dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So dihydroxyacetone phosphate may also be converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate by the enzyme phosphohexose isomerase. In that case, there will be entry of 2 glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate molecule into the glycolysis pathway. So this you have to keep it in mind, because it will be useful during the energetics calculation. So glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is now converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Here the very important, the crucial ATP molecule synthesis takes place, that is NAD is converted into NADH. So NADH, we can compare this NADH with that of the ATM card, because when we put this NADH into the mitochondria, we will be getting 3 ATPs. So it is very costly. NADH is very costly. 1,3-bisphosphate is again converted into 3-phosphoglycerate by the enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase. Again here, direct substrate level phosphorylation, that is directly ADP is converted into ATP. Now 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate by the enzyme mutase, and then 2-phosphoglycerate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. Phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into pyruvate. Here again substrate level phosphorylation, that is ATP synthesis, energy synthesis, takes place by the enzyme pyruvate kinase. So up to this synthesis of pyruvate, it is aerobic glycolysis. This takes place in all the respiring organisms. Suppose if the condition is anaerobic, pyruvate will be converted into lactate. So anaerobic glycolysis doesn't provide us with that of the energy, it consumes energy. So conversion of pyruvate to lactate, it drains off the energy, that is NADH will be utilized in this case. So this is the overall glycolysis pathway with the structure. So you can see here, during the first 3 steps, ATPs are consumed, and in the last 5 steps, ATPs will be generated. Coming to the energetics calculation. So as we saw, during the conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, there will be, so as I told, dihydroxyacetone phosphate may also be converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So at that case, there will be entry of 2 glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So 2 NADH will be produced, total 6 ATPs. Similarly, 2 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate will be converted into 2,3-phosphoglycerate. So 2 ATPs will be produced. 2 phosphoenol pyruvate to 2 enol pyruvate, 2 ATPs will be produced. Total of 10 ATPs will be produced. And during the first 3 steps, as we saw, glucose, during the conversion of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, only 1 ATP was consumed. And during the conversion of fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, 1 ATP was consumed. So as a result, there will be total net 8 ATPs will be synthesized. So thus, glycolysis is the very preliminary and very powerful pathway for the synthesis of ATP, because from the glycolysis there will be emerging pathways. So TCA cycle is the continuation of the glycolysis. Glycolysis is the key pathway of all the metabolism, and it interlinks many metabolism. Thank you.